What if I told you that neuroscientists at Stanford University just discovered a breathing technique that can stop a panic attack in its tracks within 90 seconds? Are you tired of feeling like your own mind is your worst enemy, hijacking your peace the moment you start to feel normal again? Later in this video, I'll show you the exact physiological mechanism behind this breakthrough discovery and walk you through the precise technique that's changing lives across the world. Hit that subscribe button because I share a breakthrough mental health technique every week that most therapists don't even know about. Content you won't find anywhere else. Right now, your nervous system is probably more dysregulated than you realize. And what I'm about to share could be the missing piece you've been desperately searching for. Imagine this. You're sitting in a meeting. Everything seems normal. And then suddenly your heart starts racing like you've just run a marathon. Your chest tightens, your palms get sweaty, and you feel like you can't breathe. You excuse yourself to the bathroom, gripping the sink, wondering if this is it, if this is how you die. Sound familiar? Or maybe you're driving down the highway when out of nowhere, waves of terror wash over you. Your hands shake on the steering wheel. You feel dizzy and disconnected, like you're watching yourself from outside your body. You pull over, gasping for air, completely convinced something terrible is happening to your heart. Here's the third scenario that haunts millions. You wake up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat, your mind immediately racing with catastrophic thoughts. What if I lose my job? What if something happens to my family? What if I'm having a heart attack right now? Your body responds as if these imagined threats are real, launching you into a full-blown panic attack while you're supposed to be sleeping peacefully. Research from the Anxiety and Depression Association of America reveals that panic attacks affect 6 million adults in the United States alone, with women being twice as likely to be affected as men. But here's what's really happening, and this will shock you. Your brain is actually trying to protect you, but it's malfunctioned in the most devastating way possible. Wait, before I continue, let me explain why traditional advice, like just breathe deeply or think positive thoughts, has been failing you completely. Your panic attacks aren't happening because you're weak or broken. They're happening because your ancient survival system, designed to keep you alive when facing real physical threats, has become hypervigilant in our modern world. But here's what's really happening that most people don't understand. Your amygdala, the alarm center of your brain, has become so sensitized that it's treating everyday stresses like life or death emergencies. Every time you have a panic attack, you're essentially training your nervous system to be even more reactive, creating a vicious cycle that feels impossible to escape. Later, I'll reveal the exact method that changes everything, a technique so simple, yet so powerful that it can literally rewire your nervous system's response within seconds. This isn't another breathing exercise that barely works. This is a scientifically backed approach that addresses the root cause of panic at the neurological level. Here's the hidden cause that's been destroying your peace of mind, and it's not what you think. While everyone focuses on external triggers, stress at work, relationship problems, financial worries, the real culprit is something called interoceptive dysfunction. This is your brain's inability to accurately interpret the normal signals coming from inside your body. Think of your nervous system like a smoke detector in your kitchen. A properly functioning smoke detector only goes off when there's actual smoke or fire. But imagine if that detector became so sensitive that it started screaming every time you boiled water, made toast, or even just walked through the kitchen. That's exactly what's happening in your body during panic attacks. Neuroscientists at the University of California discovered something remarkable. People who experience panic attacks have heightened sensitivity to their internal bodily sensations. Your heart naturally fluctuates between 60 and 100 beats per minute throughout the day. Your breathing naturally varies, and your body temperature shifts constantly. These are completely normal variations. But your hypervigilant nervous system interprets these minor changes as signs of imminent danger. But there's something else happening that will shock you. Every time you try to fight or suppress a panic attack, you're actually making it worse. Research published in the Journal of Anxiety Disorders shows that resistance to panic sensations increases their intensity by up to 300%. It's like being caught in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Here's the counterintuitive truth. Your panic attacks aren't random. They follow a predictable pattern that starts with something called the anxiety spiral. It begins with a tiny bodily sensation. Maybe your heart skips a beat, or you feel slightly lightheaded. Your brain notices this and thinks, what if something's wrong? This thought creates a small stress response, which creates more physical sensations, which creates more anxious thoughts. And within seconds, you're in full panic mode. But there's something else happening that most people never realize. Your breathing pattern during panic isn't just a symptom. It's actually the key that can unlock your freedom. And that's where this breakthrough discovery comes in. The revolutionary method that changes everything is called the physiological sigh, and it's not just another breathing technique. This is a specific breathing pattern that directly activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It's a part of your body responsible for calm and recovery. What makes this so powerful is that it works with your body's natural mechanisms instead of fighting against them. Here's how this breakthrough works. When you do a physiological sigh, which is two inhales through your nose followed by a long exhale through your mouth, you're actually manipulating your vagus nerve in real time. The vagus nerve is like the master reset button for your nervous system, and this specific breathing pattern sends an immediate signal to your brain that you're safe. Neuroscientists at Stanford discovered that this isn't just about getting more oxygen. The double inhale specifically reinflates the tiny air sacs in your lungs called alveoli, which have deflated during shallow panic breathing. When these alveoli reinflate, they send a direct signal to your brainstem that everything is okay, literally switching off the panic response within seconds. Wait, let me show you exactly how this works with a real story. Sarah, a 34-year-old teacher from Oregon, had been suffering from panic attacks for 3 years. She tried therapy, meditation apps, even medication, but nothing seemed to stop the attacks once they started. She would have panic attacks in her classroom, in grocery stores, even at her daughter's soccer games. One day, during what felt like the worst panic attack of her life, she remembered learning about the physiological sigh. Her heart was pounding at what felt like 200 beats per minute. Her vision was tunneling, and she felt like she was going to collapse. Instead of fighting it or trying to escape, she did something different. She took 2 deep inhales through her nose, followed by the longest exhale she could manage through her mouth. Within 30 seconds, she felt her heart rate begin to slow. By 90 seconds, the panic had completely subsided. But there's a catch. You need to know. This only works if you do it correctly, and most people get the timing completely wrong. The secret isn't just in the breathing pattern itself, but in the specific way you engage with your nervous system during those 90 seconds. Over 50,000 people have now tried this method after learning it from various sources, and the success rate is remarkable. But here's what most people get wrong when they first try it. They expect it to prevent panic attacks from starting. That's not how this works. This technique is designed to interrupt a panic attack that's already in progress, essentially hijacking your nervous system's panic response and redirecting it toward .com. Here's exactly how to apply this in your life starting today. I'm going to give you the precise 5-step process that turns this scientific discovery into your personal panic attack antidote. Step 1. The recognition phase. The moment you notice the first signs of panic, racing heart, shortness of breath, dizziness, or that familiar wave of dread, don't fight it. Instead, mentally say to yourself, "This is panic, and I know exactly what to do." This recognition stops the resistance that makes panic worse. Step 2. The position setup. If you're standing, stay standing. If you're sitting, stay sitting. Don't change your environment or try to escape. This teaches your nervous system that you can handle panic wherever you are. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly if possible, but this isn't mandatory. Step 3. The double inhale. Take your first inhale through your nose, filling your lungs about 75% full. Then, without exhaling, take a second smaller inhale through your nose to completely top off your lungs. This is crucial. It must be 2 distinct inhales, not one long breath. Step 4. The extended exhale. Now comes the magic moment. Exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, making the exhale at least twice as long as your inhales combined. Think of it like slowly deflating a balloon. This extended exhale is what activates your vagus nerve and signals safety to your brain. Step 5. The reset repetition. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times, focusing only on the breath pattern. Don't try to think positive thoughts or analyze your feelings. Just breathe. By the 3rd repetition, you should start feeling your heart rate slow down. But what if you don't have time for this? I hear this objection constantly. The beauty of this technique is that it takes exactly 90 seconds less time than it takes to check your Instagram. But what if people are watching? Nobody will even notice you're doing a specific breathing technique. It looks like you're just taking a few deep breaths. What if you're driving when panic hits? This is actually one of the safest times to use this technique. Pull over if possible. But if you can't, the breathing pattern is simple enough to do while driving. Many people report that car panic attacks respond especially well to this method. Here's the troubleshooting guide for the 3 most common problems. First, if you feel dizzy during the technique, you're inhaling too forcefully. Make your inhales gentler. Second, if it doesn't seem to work the first time, you're probably rushing it. Slow down the exhale even more. Third, if you feel like you're not getting enough air, remember that panic makes you feel breathless, even when your oxygen levels are perfectly fine. Timeline expectations. Do this correctly during your next panic attack, and you'll notice your heart rate beginning to slow within 30 seconds. Your breathing will normalize within 60 seconds. The full panic response will subside within 90 seconds. In 2 weeks of consistent practice, you'll start to feel more confident when panic begins. In 30 days, many people report that their panic attacks become much less frequent because they're no longer afraid of them, even if you've failed with every other technique before. This works because it's not trying to change your thoughts or emotions. It's directly changing your physiology. Your vagus nerve doesn't care about your history with anxiety. It only responds to the specific signals you send it through your breathing. Let me paint a picture of the life that awaits you on the other side of mastering this technique. In 3 days of using the physiological sigh correctly, you'll notice something remarkable. That overwhelming fear of having another panic attack starts to fade. You'll still feel the initial surge of panic when it hits, but now you have a tool that works, and that changes everything. In 2 weeks, you'll start reclaiming spaces you've been avoiding. Maybe it's that grocery store where you had a panic attack last month, or the highway route you've been taking detours to avoid. You'll walk into these situations with quiet confidence, knowing that even if panic strikes, you can handle it in 90 seconds. Within 30 days, your entire relationship with anxiety transforms. Instead of spending hours each day worrying about when the next attack might hit, you'll find yourself naturally more present. Your sleep will improve because you're not lying awake catastrophizing about tomorrow. Your relationships will deepen because you're not constantly on edge, waiting for your nervous system to betray you. But here's what you'll notice physically that might surprise you. Your shoulders will start to relax naturally throughout the day. You'll realize you've been carrying tension there for months, maybe years. Your digestion will improve because your nervous system will finally allow your body to focus on healing instead of constantly preparing for threat. You'll have more energy because you're not burning through adrenaline and cortisol all day long. The emotional shifts are even more profound. You'll rediscover what it feels like to feel genuinely calm, not just the absence of panic, but actual peace. You'll start making decisions based on what you want, not on what you're afraid might trigger anxiety. That voice in your head that's constantly scanning for danger will quiet down to a whisper. Here's a final story that perfectly captures this transformation. Remember Sarah, the teacher I mentioned earlier? 6 months after learning this technique, she sent me a message that brought tears to my eyes. She wrote, "I went to my daughter's school play last week, something I would have avoided before because of panic attacks in crowded spaces. Halfway through the second act, I realized something incredible. I hadn't thought about anxiety even once. I was just present, just enjoying my daughter's performance like a normal parent. For the first time in years, I felt like myself again. That's the transformation that's possible for you. Not just managing panic attacks, but rediscovering who you are when fear isn't running your life. Your transformation from panic to peace is just 90 seconds away. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before anxiety took over your life. The physiological sigh isn't magic. It's science applied with precision to give you back control over your own nervous system. Try this technique the very next time you feel panic rising, and comment below to let me know your results. I read every single comment and respond personally. Your success story could be the encouragement someone else needs to try this method. Next week, I'm revealing the 5-minute morning routine that rewires your nervous system for calm before anxiety can even start. This isn't about meditation or positive thinking. It's a specific sequence of actions that builds resilience at the neurological level. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss it, because this technique will fundamentally change how you start every single day. Remember, you are not broken, you are not weak, and you are definitely not alone. You are just 90 seconds away from proving to yourself that you have more power over panic than panic has over you.